So we are discussing the fatty acid synthesis, and previously I already discussed about the the rate limiting enzyme for the fatty acid synthesis pathway, or de novo synthesis or biosynthesis pathway of fatty acid. So, and also I told about the regulation of fatty acid synthesis. So your acetyl CoA carboxylase, this is the rate limiting enzyme for fatty acid synthesis. Now in this video I am now going to talk about the another important enzyme complex. Actually this is a multi enzyme complex of fatty acid synthesis pathway, and this is nothing but your fatty acid synthase enzyme. This is your fatty acid synthase enzyme. Okay, so this is obviously not the rate limiting enzyme of the fatty acid synthesis pathway, because I already told the fatty acid synthesis pathway rate limiting enzyme is your acetyl CoA carboxylase. The cofactor of this fatty acid synthase complex or FAS complex is your NADPH. Remember, NADPH. NADPH, not only NADPH, along with Mn2 plus. Okay, manganese ion. Your fatty acid synthase complex, it is a homodimer. It is actually exist in dimeric form. Okay, it is a homodimer. Okay, and it is a multifunctional enzyme. Actually the 7 enzymatic activity, this enzyme complex, fatty acid synthase enzyme complex, is showing the 7 enzymatic activity. Okay, and each monomer unit has 7 enzymatic activity, which I just told these things, and 1 acyl carrier protein. Total 8 domain is present, or 8 domain is present within your each monomer unit. So okay, let's discuss through this diagram. Here you can see this diagram. Actually this is a schematic representation of your FAS complex or fatty acid synthase complex. The green color, the upper portion, the green color, this you can see the green color. Here you can see this. Okay, this green color area or green color domains are a single dimer, and the below yellow color domains are a single another dimer. So this is one dimer and this is another dimer. Sorry, this is one monomer and this is another monomer, and these two are attached with each other. So this is one monomer and this is another monomer. These two monomers are bind or joined with each other to form a functional dimer. Okay, so your fatty acid synthase complex is active at its dimeric form. Okay, at its dimeric form. This is actually the dimer. Each and every monomer or each and every subunit of this dimer, it has 8 domains. It has 8 domains. Count from this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 domain. Okay, and similarly 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 domain. Okay, out of these 8 domains, your this domain ACP, it has no enzymatic activity. ACP, it has no enzymatic activity. It is actually acyl carrier protein domain. This is actually the acyl carrier protein. Okay, ACP stands for acyl carrier protein. Okay, and other 7 domains are, each and every one is has its own enzymatic activity. This is one enzyme, this is another enzyme. These all are having separate enzymatic activity, except the ACP domain. ACP domain is not, it has no any enzymatic activity. It is only just it holding the acyl group with this enzyme or with this multi enzyme complex. Okay, so what I told, that the fatty acid synthase complex, it exists in dimeric form. Okay, it exists in its dimeric form, and it has 8 domains. Out of these 8 domains, one is ACP or acyl carrier protein domain, which has no enzymatic activity, and other 7 domains has specific enzymatic activity, which is important for your fatty acid synthesis. So you can see these lines, this line actually separating, this horizontal line is actually separating the two subunit of this FAS complex, two subunit of this FAX complex. But during fatty acid synthesis, one subunit, any one subunit is not able, or any one subunit is unable to synthesize fatty acid. Okay, similarly only this green subunit is unable to synthesize fatty acid. Actually here you can see this is one active site and this is another active site. Okay, so this is one active site and this is another active site. Okay, at this active site is of this enzyme complex, this active site of this enzyme complex is formed by the some domains of this upper subunit and some domains of this lower subunit. So the upper subunit and the lower subunit of the fatty acid synthase complex dimer contributing to the single active site. This is one active site of this enzyme, and there is also another active site. You can see there is also another active site. Okay, and this active site, at this active site is contributed partially by this upper domain and partially by this upper subunit of this enzyme, the domains of the upper subunit, and partially by the lower subunit. So any one, when fatty acid is synthesized, when fatty acid is synthesized, this portion, this active site, at this active site your substrates comes and attached, and similarly at this active site your substrates comes and attached. Okay, so any one subunit is unable to form your fatty acid. Okay, so the partial part of this subunit and partial part of this subunit is required to synthesize a fatty acid. Okay, now you can see here that I'm erasing everything. This vertical, this is not actually proper vertical, but this vertical line dividing this enzyme complex, this vertical line is dividing this enzyme complex into two separate functional unit. This portion is acting like a single unit or single functional unit, and this portion is acting like a another functional unit, and this functional unit is contributed by, or the which structures are forming this functional unit, some domains of this upper subunit and some domains of this lower subunit. Similarly this is also true for in this case, in this side also. And the major thing which you can see here, that you can see these two subunits are not lying parallelly, they are anti-parallel to each other. You can see ACP group here, ACP group is also this side. These two are anti-parallel or head to tail arrangement, they are anti-parallel to each other. So this is the basic informations about the fatty acid synthase complex. Okay, So fatty acid synthase complex is a homodimer. Why it is a homodimer? Because two same monomer are joining and forming this dimer. Fatty acid synthase complex is multifunctional enzyme complex. Multifunctional enzyme complex. Each and every subunit, here I already told, each and every subunit has 7 enzymatic activity. 7 enzymatic activity. This is the characteristics features of the mammalian fatty acid synthase complex. In case of prokaryotics like E. coli, they have the separate 7 enzyme. They have the separate 7 enzyme for this fatty acid synthase complex. They have the separate 7 enzyme, but in case of mammalian fatty acid synthase complex, the single polypeptide chain is acting, single polypeptide chain is playing the role of 7 separate enzymatic activity. Okay, the all this enzymatic domain, all these domain are coming from the single gene. This is the characteristics features of the mammalian fatty acid synthase complex. Okay, so next, each monomer unit has 7 enzymatic activity or 7 enzymatic active region and 1 acyl carrier protein ACP region. I already told these things. Okay, and they are each the dimer forming two monomer or two subunits are anti-parallel or head to tail arrangement. Okay, they are anti-parallel like DNA. Okay, so this is about the basic information. Now let's talk about this ACP domain of this fatty acid synthase complex. Okay, this ACP domain, it has no enzymatic activity. Okay, agree, but it has one very important role in fatty acid synthesis. Okay, let's see or let's discuss these things. Your ACP domain or acyl carrier protein domain, it has pantothenic acid, okay, in the form of 4-phosphopentothane. You can see this ACP domain, it has 4-phosphopentothane or pantothenic acid. Okay, and at this pantothenic acid region, this is in abbreviation from, it is written like pan sh. At this region, your malonyl CoA, or better to say that acyl group, okay, your acyl group is attached at this region. Okay, this is the importance of this active site. Actually, this pan sh of the ACP is forming the active site of this FAS complex. Okay, this is represented as pan sh. Okay, this is 4-phosphopentothane. This is the pantothenic acid in the form of 4-phosphopentothane. Okay, this acyl group attached with the thioester group. Here you can see, when acyl group is attaching with your ACP or pan sh site, when acyl group is attaching with your ACP or pan sh site, the bond forming between the acyl group and the ACP is thioester bond. This is your thioester bond. When acyl group, I already told this pan sh site or ACP, it has pan sh site active region. At this region, your acyl group is binding. Okay, so acyl group is bound to this ACP region via the thioester bond, Okay, this is about the ACP region. Now let's talk about the FAS complex. Your FAS complex, its dimeric form, it is looks like X. This is actually English letter X shaped. Okay, and X-ray crystallography study is telling us that this is your X shaped structure. Okay, so here you can see Let's imagine this is one subunit, and this is another subunit or one monomer, and this is another monomer of fatty acid synthase. Okay, these two are joining with each other and forming this fatty acid synthase complex dimer, and each subunit or each monomeric subunit has domain 1, domain 2, domain 3, and obviously with each monomeric subunit your acyl carrier protein is ACP is bounded. You can see this thing also here, but in anti-parallel fashion. This is domain 1 for this subunit, and this is domain 1 for this subunit, and ACP region is here, this subunit. This is in anti-parallel fashion. Okay, so each monomeric subunit has 3 domain. Each monomeric subunit has 3 domain with 7 enzymatic activity. And all these enzymes are coded by single gene. All these 7 enzymes are coded by single gene. What I told, the domains 3, number of domains 3, and 3 domains with 7 enzymatic activity. Okay, and all the enzymes are coded by a single gene. Now 3 domains. So first of all, the first domain. Your first domain of FAS complex, its first domain is also called your condensing unit. Second domain is called your reduction unit or reducing unit. Third domain called your releasing unit. First domain, so your fatty acid synthase complex is dimer. Okay, it exists in dimer. Its dimer is accept. It is accept. X-ray crystallography says that. Okay, each monomeric subunit has 3 domain and 7 enzymatic activity. All these enzymes are synthesized by single gene. Okay, enzymes are proteins. Okay, first domain, it's condensing unit. Second domain, reduction unit. Third domain, releasing unit. All right. So first domain or the condensing unit, it is that unit where the initial substrate is bound with this unit. So your condensing unit or first domain, its enzymatic activity, listen carefully. Okay, its enzymatic activity, your first domain showing 3 enzymatic activity. 1, beta ketoacyl synthase. 2, acyl trans acylase. 3, malonyl transacylase. Now according to some authors, and a recent modern study is telling us that these 2 enzymes, your acyl transacylase and malonyl transacylase, they are single enzyme. They are a single enzyme. Okay, so if we considered these 2 as a single enzyme, then the total enzyme or total enzyme activity is not 7, this is now 6. Okay, but this is the modern study. Okay, so here you can see your first domain of this fatty acid synthase complex, it is condensing unit. It shows 3 enzymatic activity: beta ketoacyl synthase activity, CE for condensing enzyme; acetyl transacylase activity, malonyl transacylase activity. Okay, note acetyl transacylase and malonyl transacylase single enzyme. Now its modern study is telling us this. So let's appreciate this thing here. Here you can see this is the ketoacyl synthase, acetyl transacylase, malonyl transacylase. So these 3 enzymatic active region are forming your domain 1. Domain 1, I already told that domain 1, it has 3 enzymatic activity, but modern study says 2 enzymatic activity. The beta ketoacyl synthase, okay, acetyl transacylase, malonyl transacylase. Modern study says that acetyl transacylase and malonyl transacylase are single enzyme. This is about domain 1, and this domain of the lower subunit is located in or arranged in anti-parallel fashion. You can see this ketoacyl synthase, acetyl transacylase, malonyl transacylase. So this is your domain 1. This is your domain 1. Okay. Now let's talk about the second domain, or domain 2. When I am talking about the domain 2, your second domain, it is acts like this second domain, it acts like a reducing unit. You can say also this as reducing unit. It shows again 3 enzymatic activity, 4, 5, 6, 3 enzymatic activity: beta ketoacyl reductase activity, dehydratase activity, enoyl reductase activity. Okay, so once again, you can see this thing here. Yes, here you can see beta ketoacyl or ketoacyl reductase activity, enoyl reductase activity, hydratase activity. That means these 3 are forming your domain 2 or domain reducing unit. Okay, and the last domain, when I am talking about the last domain, okay, this last domain, this is your this one, the thioesterase enzyme. This last domain has only one enzyme. This is your thioesterase enzyme. Okay, so this is your third domain. Similarly, here you can see also the domain 2, and you can see the thioesterase in domain 3. Already I told previously, and now I am telling that ACP, it is acyl carrier protein, and ACP region, okay, or acyl carrier protein, it has no enzymatic activity. Clear? So this is about the domains and the enzymatic activity of those domains. Okay, so second domain, beta ketoacyl reductase or only ketoacyl reductase, simply you can say dehydratase, enoyl reductase. Third domain, it is the releasing unit. Okay, actually this, when the fatty acid synthesis is completed, then what happens at this domain, fatty acid synthesis is completed, this domain actually releasing the fatty acid from this fatty acid synthase complex. Okay, so this domain 3 or third domain, it is actually the releasing the fatty acid, the fully formed fatty acid from this third domain, and this enzyme of this third domain, the thioesterase, is acting only once on the whole fatty acid synthesis machinery, or throughout this whole pathway of the synthesis of fatty acid, thioesterase acting only once at the end of this reaction, when the releasing of fatty acid is needed from this fatty acid synthase complex. Okay, so I previously told that the fatty acid synthesis, it is a cyclical process. Okay, so you can here you can see that other enzymes are acting many times, but only this third domain's enzyme, the thioesterase or deacylase, is acting only once, just during the detachment of fatty acid from fatty acid synthase complex. Okay, so this is about the basic introduction of this fatty acid synthase complex and its various 3 domains and its 7 enzymatic activity and ACP region. Now one point which I want to add here, that the acetyl CoA carboxylase enzyme, it is the rate limiting enzyme of the fatty acid synthesis process, but this enzyme is not the part of fatty acid synthase complex. Your acetyl CoA carboxylase causing the, actually is converting your acetyl CoA into 2 carbon acetyl CoA into 3 carbon malonyl CoA, 3 carbon malonyl CoA, addition of 1 CO2, biotin is also required. Okay, this is not this is the rate limiting enzyme, most important enzyme for the fatty acid synthesis, but this enzyme is not a part of fatty acid synthase complex. Actually this is also came in your Central Institute question, AIIMS November 2013. Now what is the mechanism or what is the procedure how the fatty acid is synthesized through this fatty acid synthase complex? Okay, I already told the fatty acid synthase complex, it exists in dimeric form. It exists in dimeric form. It looks like X. You can see antiparallel, it looks like X. Okay, and this dimer are this each and every monomer, those who are forming this fatty acid synthase complex, okay, they are arranged themselves as in anti-parallel fashion. If this portion is representative of cis SH, cis for cysteine, and this portion of this single dimer, this is monomer 1, this is monomer 2, or unit 1, unit 2, collectively they are forming one dimer. Okay, if this is the cis end, then this is the pan end, pan for pantothenic acid end. Similarly, if this is the pan end, then this is the cis end. Okay, so this is actually their arrangement, this is actually their arrangement. So they are arranged like anti-parallel fashion. Look, anti-parallel fashion, hedral arrangement, and these two are forming your one, these two are forming your one active site, these two are forming your another active site. Okay, so this is the schematic arrangement, anti-parallel arrangement of your fatty acid synthase complex. All right, so here you can see, yes, here you can see this thing. At this cis end, cis for cysteine actually, and pan for pantothenic acid, this is actually the ACP domain, acyl carrier protein binding region. Okay, I am erasing this thing here. First of all, I already told previously, your precursor of fatty acid synthesis is acetyl CoA. Acetyl CoA is required to synthesize fatty acid. Malonyl CoA 3 carbon, and NADPH is also required. Acetyl CoA, malonyl CoA, and NADPH, how they are coming in this pathway, I already told this thing in previous video. Okay, so sorry, acetyl CoA, first acetyl CoA, 2 carbon acetyl CoA, it attached with the cis SH end. This is the first step of the fatty acid synthesis. Listen carefully. Your acetyl CoA, 2 carbon acetyl CoA is attaching with this cis SH end or cis end. With the help of this enzyme, acetyl transacylase, with the help of the acetyl transacylase enzyme. Okay, this is the enzyme of the domain 1. Domain 1. And at the pan region, your malonyl CoA, 3 carbon malonyl CoA, it's attaching with the help of malonyl transacylase enzyme. What I told, at the cis end, acetyl CoA is attached 2 carbon, at the pan end the malonyl CoA attached, which is 3 carbon, with the help of acetyl transacylase and malonyl transacylase respectively. This is the first step. And after this step, okay, never acetyl CoA is attaching anywhere. After this step, you cannot see the acetyl CoA is attaching with this FAS complex. Okay, so only one time your acetyl CoA is used, and from this next step to final step, always you can see the major carbon addition or the major carbon donor is your malonyl CoA. What I told, at the cis end acetyl CoA is attached, at the pan end malonyl CoA is attached with the help of AT enzyme and MT enzyme respectively. Next step, at the next step your enzyme, here you can see now what happens, this acetate group coming from the acetyl CoA is attached with this cis end, and this malonate group coming from the malonyl CoA is attached at this pan end. Now ketoacyl synthase enzyme or condensing enzyme acts on this system or this complex, and this ketoacyl synthase causing what? Causing condensation. It's causing condensation. That means here you can see acetate is 2 carbon, malonate is 3 carbon. This acetate and malonate group, they are condensed with each other and forming 5 carbon intermediate complex, and from this 5 carbon intermediate complex one CO2 is removed or one CO2 is released, and ultimately 4 carbon complex or 4 carbon acyl group is now formed. Okay, so what is the action of this ketoacyl synthase? This ketoacyl synthase is actually synthesizing a ketoacyl group via condensing this acetate and malonate. That's why this is also called your condensing enzyme. Okay, so ultimately what happens? This acetate is condensed with malonate forming a 5 carbon intermediate, then decarboxylation occurs, one CO2 group is released. Okay, and ultimately 4 carbon ketoacyl group is formed, and this 4 carbon ketoacyl group is now attached with this pan end, and cis end is totally free now. You can see this thing here. This 4 carbon ketoacyl group, here you can see beta ketoacyl group is attached with the pan end, and cis end is now totally free. Okay, so this is the second step. Now third step, here you can see the enzyme activity of the beta ketoacyl reductase, and this beta ketoacyl reductase required NADPH as cofactor. Beta ketoacyl reductase is actually reduced this beta ketoacyl group which is attached with the pan SH and forming beta ketoacyl ACP complex. So let's appreciate this chemistry, okay, or understand this chemistry parts. This is your beta ketoacyl ACP complex. This is your ACP of the fatty acid synthetase, okay, fatty acid synthase complex of ACP group, and this is your beta ketoacyl 4 carbon 1 2 3 4. You can see this 4 carbon beta ketoacyl condensed product. This is the alpha carbon with respect to this group, and this is the beta carbon. At the beta carbon your keto group is present, that's why this is beta ketoacyl group. Now in presence of the reductase beta ketoacyl reductase, in presence of the beta ketoacyl reductase, this portion is reduced. C double bond O, when carbonyl is reduced, it is formed, it is converted into your alcohol group. Okay, so when carbonyl is reduced, it is converted into alcohol group OH. Okay, here you can see that the source of this hydrogen is NADPH. In presence of NADPH, your beta ketoacyl group is reduced and form beta hydroxybutyryl ACP complex. At the bit, now this is your carbon and this is your alpha carbon, this is your beta carbon, and this carbon is attached with your carbonyl, this is your functional group. Okay, and at this beta position now you can see the hydroxyl group. That's why this is called your beta hydroxy butyryl ACP complex, forming complex with ACP. Okay, so here you can see in presence of beta keto acyl reductase and NADPH as cofactor, your beta keto acyl group is converted into beta hydroxy fatty acyl group, and this beta hydroxy fatty acyl group forming the complex with ACP, that means PAN. And the next step, your dehydratase is acting, and this dehydratase causing dehydration, removal of H2O. Now if H2O is removed, here you can see from this, okay, there is I am removing this and drawing this carbon has two hydrogen like this and this. If H2O, this is removed as water, this, then what happens, one double bond is created as this portion. Okay, this is, you can see here, this double bond is formed due to the action of the dehydratase. This dehydratase is acting on the beta hydroxy fatty acyl group and causing the enoyl group, forming the enoyl group, and this enoyl group is obviously attaching with the PAN end. Next, once again, your enoyl reductase is acting on this. This enoyl reductase is converting this or reducing this enoyl group, okay, in presence of NADPH. So this is all about the first step. Now if already here 4 carbon chain is already here, the 4 carbon chain is formed, but to synthesize the 16 carbon palmitic acid, further addition or elongation of this chain is required. That's why what happens, the enoyl reductase is reduced this much, reduce this, the enoyl group, okay, and converted this enoyl group into butyryl group. This butyryl group is your 4 carbon butyryl group, and then this 4 carbon butyryl group is transferred to the cis end, and this is a spontaneous process. Okay, no enzyme required for this. So this butyryl group is transferred to this cis end. Okay, next what happens, so now the 4 carbon is added. Now in the next step, the new malonyl CoA is added at this end, and further decarboxylation occurs, and further everything, these steps are repeats. Now what happens, the cis end, now the cis end is filled with your butyryl group. Now here you can see the new malonyl CoA is coming and attaching with this end, then further condensation occurs between that 4 carbon and this new malonyl group, then further decarboxylation occurs, then this all steps are repeating. Now these all steps are repeating further and further, from this area to this area, your cis area, from PAN area to cis area, the 6 carbon chain is transferred. Now for the next cycle, once again the malonyl CoA attached at this region. That's why the cycle is repeating. So after the one cycle, 4 carbon chain is formed. After the 2 cycle, okay, 2 times, when the cycle is repeating or occurring 2 times, 6 carbon chain is formed. 3 times 8 carbon chain, 4 times 10 carbon chain, and 10 carbon chain fatty acid you can see within lactating mammary glands. Your lactating mammary glands is synthesizing your 4 carbon chain fatty acid, which is called your capric acid. And not only the not only the 10 carbon chain, also 12 carbon chain fatty acid. This is called lauric acid. The lactating mammary gland synthesizing capric acid and lauric acid. After the 6 cycle or 6 times, the 14 carbon chain is formed, and 7 times your 16 carbon chain palmitic acid is formed in liver and adipose tissue mainly. So 7 times the cycles is repeating, or you can say 1 times the main cycle, the first cycle is counted as 1, and the 6 repetition of the same cycle. Okay, 6 repetition of the same cycle occurring and forming 16 carbon palmitic acid. Okay, and at the end your thioesterase is acts. Your thioesterase is working at the end, and this thioesterase or deacylase is causing what? From the pan end, your 16 carbon chain is attached, palmitate is attached. Okay, and this thioesterase, this enzyme cleaved the bond between pan end and the palmitate, and palmitate released the 16 carbon chain fatty acid in its ionic form. Palmitate is released, and one H2O, it absorbs one H2O, and after hydrolysis it is formed into palmitic acid. Okay, so this is the machinery, fatty acid synthesis. So if I summarize this thing, because this is not so easy, if I summarize this thing, so let's summarize the fatty acid synthesis pathway. Let's make a summary. I told that your fatty acid synthase complex, fatty acid synthase complex, okay, fatty acid synthase complex, it is dimeric. This is one subunit, this is another subunit. Cis end, pan end, cis end. Okay, they are in anti-parallel fashion. That means one enzyme, 2 enzymatic activity, 3 enzymatic activity, 4 enzymatic activity, 5, 6 and 7. And for this case, this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like this. This is their anti-parallel with each other. Now what happens? First of all, this is your active side, this area and this area, this is forming one active side, and this is forming another active side. Okay, so let's talk about the synthesis. What happens? I am just drawing one end. Okay, and this is your, from the next diagram I'll draw only this part. Okay, first of all, your acetyl CoA and malonyl CoA. Your acetyl CoA is giving acetate group to this end, the cis end, and malonyl CoA is giving your malonate group to pan end. This is the step number 1. And at this step, your enzyme is acetyl. This enzyme is what? Acetyl transacylase, and this is malonyl transacylase. Okay, so this is the first enzyme 1, and this is the second enzyme. Total 7 enzymes are there. Now in the next step, what happens? The acetate group is attached with this end, malonate group attached with this end. So if I draw only this portion, here you can see this is your cis with acetate group, and this is your pan with malonate group. Your acetate is 2 carbon, malonate is 3 carbon. Now in the next step, one condensing enzyme is, this is your ketoacyl synthase enzyme is acting. Your ketoacyl synthase is working. This is also called condensing enzyme, and causing what? Causing the condensation of these two subunit or acetate and malonate. If acetate 2 carbon acetate and 3 carbon malonate is condensed, these two are forming 5 carbon intermediate. After decarboxylation, this 5 carbon intermediate is forming 4 carbon ketoacyl group. Okay, so your ketoacyl synthase acting on this and forming one 4 carbon ketoacyl group. So I am drawing this thing now. This is your cis end, this is your pan end, and this ketoacyl group, after forming this 4 carbon ketoacyl group, this ketoacyl group is transferred at the pan end. Okay, now the cis end is free, no one is bind now, no one cis end, no one is attached with the cis end now. So at the pan end you can see beta keto acyl group which is 4 carbon. Okay, sorry. Next step, what happens? On this ketoacyl, 3 enzymes working, 3 enzymes acting on this ketoacyl group, and now on this ketoacyl group 3 enzymes working. First enzyme is your ketoacyl reductase, requires NADPH, then dehydratase, then enoyl reductase, also required NADPH. When I am writing reductase, obviously required NADPH. These 3 enzymes further acting on this system. Now when the ketoacyl reductase is acting on this ketoacyl group which is attached with your pan, then this ketoacyl group is converted into beta hydroxy fatty acyl group. This is converted into beta hydroxy fatty acyl group. Okay, so this is converted into, I am writing here, and obviously this is attached with this portion, and this is your beta hydroxy fatty acyl group. And the next step, your dehydratase is working on this beta hydroxy fatty acyl group, and dehydratase causing a double bond formation. Okay, this is your cis end, and obviously this is your pan end. At the pan end, your enoyl group is attached. Now your enoyl group has double bond. Now the enoyl reductase is acts on this. This is your cis end, this is your pan end, and this enoyl group reduced this enoyl reductase reduced this enoyl group, this enoyl reductase reduced this enoyl group, and the source of hydrogen is NADPH. Okay, and after the reduction of this enoyl group, your butyryl group is forming, 4 carbon butyryl group is forming. Now this butyryl group is transferred into the cis end. Okay, it is attached with the cis end, and now the pan end is free. Now this pan end, so now the cis end is attached with butyryl group, and the pan end is free now. And for the next cycle, this is the first cycle is completed here. For the next cycle, your malonyl CoA, 3 carbon malonyl CoA and 4 carbon butyryl group is already there, is now coming there. And further there is the various reactions like first condensation with malonyl CoA with butyryl group, malonate with butyryl group, and forming the 7 carbon complex 4 carbon butyryl plus 3 carbon malonyl forming 7 carbon complex, and after decarboxylation they are forming 6 carbon chain, and further these all the steps are repeating, and ultimately one what ultimately here you can see this is your cis end, this is your pan end. Ultimately one 6 carbon acyl group is at the pan end, it's formed, and this 6 carbon acyl group is now further transformed to the cis end for the next cycle, and now cis end is attached with this 6 carbon group, and now pan end is further free. Now once again malonyl CoA is coming, this malonyl CoA coming and bind with the pan end, further the condensation occurring in between two. Okay, so 6 carbon plus 3 carbon malonate, ultimately 9 carbon, 1 CO2 is released further. Okay, so 8 carbon chain is now attached. That's how the reaction is repeating. Okay, so this is about the reaction. I'll tell other details on the fatty acid synthesis complex on the next video.